It just sounds like a portion of the internet that we don't want to click on.
Yeah, I'm not Google image searching hand rub lacquer. I can tell you that. Welcome back to the pod. Today we're touching on the hard subjects: trucks made out of beer cans, lawnmowers that are overlanding, and how suffering through the cold will give you a strong work ethic.
Hey, cars!
What do you know today, dude?
I know that I don't plan to be getting any cars made out of beer cans. I mean, military grade aluminum.
Yeah, I just showed you that video of that F-250. That's pretty crazy. They're making a tandem box. So they cut a bunch of two boxes apart to make a tandem axle box. And that's like, you imagine welding that stuff together? Ooh, no
Mm,
way.
I mean, I've welded a lot of aluminum, but I don't have to finish it.
Especially down a big bed seam where there's you don't really have a lot of access to get that weld hammered out, like
Right.
it's a big reach. Even for a planishing hammer, that I don't have anything that would get in there aside from that ox planishing hammer in your arm with a dolly on the inside. Be pretty rough.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really feel like aluminum cars is the way to go for production at all or safety.
Nah, what a chance. To be honest, the doors on our Bronco, um, when we first got it, I was like, oh, maybe our doors don't have this little whoop under the door handle because it was a two door and the four doors. Every four door Bronco, if you see a black one, there's like you look down the side of it and it's wavy as all hell. Um, so I like having a two door. I was like, oh, maybe the two doors don't have it, and then I think it's flexing of the door over time. Honestly,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
because we were going down, we were ended up on a highway that was being redone, and it was like in springtime, and it was fucking terrible. It was like we were going way too fast. But like it's a Bronco, it should handle it, right? So we are going way
Off
too
road.
fast, and I really think that the back edge of the door was coming in and hitting the body. Yeah, for real. And then
Well,
when you roll the window down just a little bit, and the window will flex a little bit because the door's aluminum and the frame's aluminum, but it's actually hitting something on the inside of the door. There's like I watched so many videos after we got that. I seen so many videos that are popping up of people having window problems and then software problems with them too. But anyways, back to aluminum. I think it's shit.
do you think that the push for aluminum in the new vehicles is fuel mileage, or is it just like innovation? They're just trying to step up to the next what they think the future is. Because it's
I
definitely
think
not
it's just
cost.
I think it's aluminum. And I think it's just aluminum. I think it's the lightweight to make ultimately not having not need enough power, not need as much power, not need as much fuel. Like it's ultimately like I think there's a place for it, but in like you say in production vehicles, the things that are going to be used and abused, the swing panels of a vehicle, I would argue that the swing panels need to be something more rigid than aluminum, but because they're getting
Yeah.
abused more. Like
Or
make
maybe
the fender out of aluminum. Make the quarter panels bolt on out of aluminum because they bolt on these vehicles. So make those out of aluminum. Don't make them out of steel. Make the swing panels out of steel because those are the ones that get abused. So to me, it's a little bit backwards, but you're never going to fix that. Ford's still trying to dig themselves out of a hole that they seemingly can't figure out.
in time.
The
Who knows?
CEO's constantly the CEO is constantly out there saying his employees basically they don't have enough technicians worldwide for all the dealerships and all that. And then in the plants themselves, he's like trying to get the employees there's kids to work there because that was kind of like how it used to be back in the day. You would it'd be like a generational thing that would you'd work there
Right.
for generations of people would work at a place. So he's trying to do that, which is admirable, but you also need to have a reason to stay. You know, it's still a big old corporation, and you look at the bullshit that they spend their money on, like this GTD that they have. That's $330,000 Mustang. It's like I don't know who the fuck's buying that, but there's a guy in Wisconsin that just bought one this last week. A bar in Wisconsin bought one. So
Hell yeah. I mean, they're cool. I
right?
like them. I mean,
They're
seems
cool,
odd.
but like to me, I don't really understand the difference. Like you can get a Coyote Mustang, put a Pro Charger on it, and you're at 800 horse. Like you're you that's what that car has.
Yeah, but
At
that
that
car's a
after
lot
that
more than a power
after that
number.
it's style. Yeah, but you know, weight ratio because it's got a transaxle in the back, I believe. But it's not that much. It's not like $200,000 more cool to me. It's
No,
just not. It still looks like a Mustang. I think it actually looks worse. I think the wings on them look like shit. It's like bolted to the seat, the back of the seat pillar kind of thing. I'm not really. I don't dig it at all.
I don't dig it either. But I think they were playing a different game, and I think the kind of people that are buying that car, they don't care about the investment or the dollar amount on them.
Maybe don't you think they would be better off just not using a Mustang as a platform?
Um, yeah, but I think the name
You could
maybe
have fans with
carries.
muscle, but ugh,
I feel like it's probably just to be competitive with the ZR1, and I think that
but it's not.
Ford would just pop a feather in their cap to say the Mustang does X, Y, Z.
But it's not competitive with the ZR1 when you're comparing it to price.
True.
Because you can buy a ZR1 and a Z06 for the price you can buy the GTD.
Yeah, but if you're a diehard Ford guy, you're not
Uh,
using logic.
but if you're a diehard Ford guy and you have that much money, you're going to buy a GT. That's my argument. Like, I'd
Uh,
rather have a GT.
yeah, scarcity though. I think all the GTDs are weren't they like you have to go through an approval process to buy them? That they wouldn't sell them to just everybody?
Yeah, I know the GTs were like that too. Our ex-employer actually bought a 19, and I heard he just waited till he could sell it and then sold it and didn't drive it.
Really?
Yeah,
Hmm.
and it left on a flatbed trailer in the middle of a snowstorm, or on a back of a flatbed in the middle of a snowstorm, open flatbed. Yeah, it's like that's pretty sweet. Like the most expensive car you've ever touched in your life.
It'll rinse off. It's just water. It's just
Yeah,
cold water.
just it's just just salty water. It's no big deal. There's a lot of
I,
that out there today. Snow, Wisconsin, fucking cool.
yeah, I think we had at least 2 feet of sunshine this morning.
Did you get it all shoveled up?
I went and I went and soaked some of it up for coming on here.
Oh man, put that shit in an envelope or box it up and bring that shit down or up here.
All right,
I need some.
I'll pack a cooler and send it to you.
It is. It is actually the sun is actually shining today, which is I wanted to get that snow cleaned up. Otherwise, it's gonna be a fucking mess later. It's gonna be like slop and yeah. You remember, right?
Oh
Lame.
yeah, I remember shoveling my roof a few too many times and deciding I never
Yeah,
needed
I
to
might
do it
have to go
again.
back. I might have to go back and get this edges of the roof yet, because that's where the shit piles up. Yeah. Ugh. Anyway.
Yep.
Oh, what's new with you in the car world? Anything new?
I have
Cars.
not
Cars.
been doing too much this week. Um, other than just toying with the truck driving wise here and there. But other than that, I haven't been doing too much. I'm starting to plan for the next truck build, but holiday season, so I'm kind of taking
Your
it
son's
easy as
truck?
far as that. Yeah, on my son's truck, the little Toyota.
Sure. I think that's gonna be cool if you're doing do that center mount travel front suspension. That's pretty fucking awesome. It's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide the best route for that. If I because I have a bare frame, or I have a stock frame, no suspension on it. So I'm trying to decide if I'm going to weld braces to, because I want to keep the motor mounting location the same, and it's a 4-cylinder, so it's not like it takes up a ton of space. Trying to decide if I weld some braces into where the motor mounts are on the frame, and then cut everything else out around it, and then build back
Yeah,
up
I would
to
just
it.
brace it up. I just
Build,
brace the shit out of it in every direction, and then cut your suspension out and just go from there. Make sure you have enough room with your braces, that the braces are out of the way enough. And that's all I would do. Make sure the shit's halfway square before you cut it apart, do a lot of measurements that way. But
Yeah. That's the only problem with building not on a, nice frame table or something like that, but it can
yeah,
be done.
for sure. Yeah.
So then I got to
Yeah,
design a big
this frame
bulkhead.
I got here worked pretty good for shit like that. I mean, it was ultra cheap at the time, so it worked out pretty awesome. And all I use it for is just jigging cars up and measuring. That's really it. It has pull towers, but I don't know. I've never used them. I can't in my heart seem to get rid of them, but they also don't work. So I don't know. It's like they're like ultra cool where you could do some cool shit with them, but also straighten. But I don't know. Hard to get rid of stuff that will it could really work for something really awesome, even if you're trying to move some stuff around. I don't know. Hard
I
to get
could
rid of
feel
that
you.
kind of junk.
I feel you. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm just in my head been planning that out because I want to once we get through Christmas here, start making moves on that frame, and then I don't know at what point start taking parts off of the other truck, but I kind of want to leave the other truck running, so it's as long as I can. Like I almost want to get
It
this
would be
frame
nice to
ready to
have.
roll.
It'd be nice to have a cab and a fender mounted up in there, a fender and maybe a hood just to know positioning.
Right.
But I guess you have those. Do those trucks have like an outer apron?
It won't when I'm done with it.
Oh, so that's all going to be gone. So, but you could still at least keep enough of it to know where you're. Well, yeah, you might want to have fenders on it.
Yeah, it'll be mount a cab, and then you'd line fenders, and then you have to build mounting tabs for fenders and
Yeah,
spacing for hood. I don't actually know that I'm gonna keep the. I considered doing like a truggy or a rock crawler style where they actually clip the hood in, and the fenders actually so your grill's narrower and everything like that, just for more clearance and just it'd be aggressive as can be. But because it's not going to be the most aerodynamic highway vehicle. I mean, we'll seal it up nice, but I still don't. And it's obviously going to be able to go on the highway and go 100 miles an hour and whatever, but I don't think this is going to be, we're going to do road trips in it other than for, like a fun trip where you'd want to
I
do the truck.
think this is the vehicle you guys are going to jump.
I've also been considering building a temporary movable jump for the Tundra.
Oh yeah, hell
we got
yeah!
we got a huge pile of hardwood pallets at work, and I'm like, I could make something out of all this.
I seen a rotisserie that like turns into a trailer on Marketplace a while back. It was actually like, really cool. I'm like, I have no room. Like even now, I would have no room for it. But it's a car rotisserie, so it turns into a trailer, but like it lays out, and then you can drive your car up onto it, and then it spins like that kind of rotisserie, like a show, like for at a car show.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, so fucking cool.
It's pretty
But
wild, actually.
yeah, it was pretty cool.
What's the
It
price
was
tag
quite
on
the
something like that?
contraption. It was like three or 4 grand, something like that. Like honestly, it was looked kind of homemade-ish. So who knows how well it worked, but it worked. It would have been cool.
You just need a car spinning around in the shop.
I always thought that'd be, I mean, for the price point, if you had space, that'd be pretty cocky looking in somebody's like shop or whatever, having a car just spinning in the center.
You just have your car on it. And when you turn the lights on, your
Yeah.
car starts spinning real slowly all day.
Somebody comes, looks in the, peeks in the window and they're like, what the fuck? Oh, car's still spinning. That'd be funny.
Huh. I'm trying to dream up how that would be mechanized, but for a trailer. Interesting.
It was, it looked like a little gearbox, some kind of little gearbox thing that was in it. I don't know. I can't remember. It was a long time ago. Yeah. It was pretty funny though. It was like a little shitbox car pulling it, so it's pretty funny.
Yesterday I
Yeah.
saw a Beetle, like a 70s Beetle, pulling a trailer that was like a little camper trailer that was shaped like a Beetle. They were
Oh,
paint matched
nice.
and stuff like that. It
Sure.
was pretty cute. It was like almost like a teardrop, but it had little fenders on it, and it was very Beetle-esque. You know what I mean?
Sure,
Like,
sure, sure.
but it still had to be a camper. So you know what I mean? Like it was, didn't have like a hood to windshield line. Like that was more of a smooth
Sure.
shape and stuff. But pretty cool.
Is there like weird, quirky shit down there? Is
Oh
in
yeah.
comparison to Wisconsin?
Oh yeah. I see a lot of like weird minis running around, like mini panel wagons and mini uh like I don't know, just like different. I'm so used only seeing like a Mini Cooper, and then you see the
Yeah,
Clubman and stuff like that when they're like, but they're an old one. I see a lot of that.
yeah, yeah.
There's some quirky
Huh.
stuff. There's a what's that car that I always see driving around here? I know it exactly when I see it, but I don't know. My brain's not working right now. But there's some cool. There's like an older late 40s, early 50s car I normally see driving around. I can't think of the name for the life of me. But it starts with a D. What's a D 40s or 50s car?
Soto?
It's a DeSoto. Yeah, he nailed it. Yeah,
Sure.
there's a DeSoto that drives around here all the time. It's like maroon, but like nice factory car. But
Nice. Has it got the teeth, the upright teeth in it? That'd be like a 53, 4, somewhere in there.
I don't think it's upright teeth. I think it's like an oval grill that says DeSoto in it.
Interesting.
Maybe it has some upright teeth,
Right on.
and then the DeSoto's in front of it. I don't know.
I don't know. There's
I'll look
different
at it next
versions.
time I see it.
The those DeSoto teeth are really. I have a set, not a full set, but almost a full set, and that's really common for people to put in Mercs, like chopped Mercs. I'll put the DeSoto teeth in the front. They'll use
Oh,
like two
gotcha.
sets, fill the whole thing. They get expensive, like ultra expensive. I had mine on sale for like, or on sale, fucking dumb dumb. On
Black Friday.
Marketplace for it was. I had them on there for a year and a half, 2 years. 'Cause I really didn't want to sell them. It was like this is the I don't want to sell it price, and it was I think it was $1,500. And I had a guy that was pretty like like he was fucking me around a little bit, so that's why I never ended up selling it. A year later, he contacted me. I really want to buy them now. I'm like, I'm not even dealing with you. Like, I'm not gonna drive to the cities to sell these to you, and like then you decide to change your mind again. Like, no thanks.
It's got a pretty firm rule that if you're buying, you're driving. You know what I mean? Like I don't deliver stuff.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. That's pretty. That's a good rule. I like that rule.
Yeah, it's too much of a risk when you have to deliver something, and then if they decide, oh, you just drove here 4 hours, but I'm gonna try to you down now. Oh, I should probably not say that. I'm gonna try to dicker with you on the price, and I'm gonna this has got a little more pitting than I thought, so I'm gonna pass. And then you're out,
Right.
8 hours of driving.
You find that people want to negotiate before they even show up to like everything's got to be like set in stone, and then they want to come like they'll beat you up on the price, and then they show up, and then they'll beat you up even more on the price.
Yep.
It's like, come on, guys. But I don't know. That's like a whole viral thing of just lowballing people. I think people have like YouTube videos of just sitting around lowballing people and people's reaction. It's fucking retarded.
I think that part of that problem is on Marketplace. It seems like people are inflating their prices, expecting to negotiate. So you don't necessarily want to go there and then find out they were serious on a price. So you want to feel them out first.
Yeah,
And I think the other part
and
of
it
that,
does seem like that's is fake as hell. So you don't even know if you're talking to a real person.
right? I think the other part of it is it's a lot easier to be a negotiator on the other side of a keyboard than it is in person.
No doubt. Yeah, because when you see somebody in person, like you can tell if they're a negotiator, like a in-person negotiator or not. Like some people just don't even want to talk. Like they just
Most
want to just
people.
give you the money and just get this. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it's interesting. And you're like, what about this tear in the seat? Yeah, get all weird.
So I gotta know. What did you think of that? Speaking of the price you don't want to sell it for, what did you think of that all original, not sell for $5 million gold Cobra?
5 million for this car right now. Would you sell it?
Nope, wouldn't do it.
And what makes this Cobra unique?
Well, it's one of 31 427 SCs, and the fact that it's got some of the original gold paint is the holy grail. This particular car is considered to be the most original Cobra left in existence.
Oh, balls, dude. Like, that's fun and all. That, like, just sell it to somebody and put it in a museum, I guess. Because if he's not taking $5 million for it, the dude's probably driving it a little bit if he's a cocky guy, but I wouldn't be driving it at all. Like, if it's worth that much money, there's no way. Like, you'd have to be. The background of that house did not look like a guy that had a $5 million car
Yeah.
that he would not take money for. I mean, granted, that might not be the place he lives, but when I was looking at the dude and I'm like being a little judgy, like, dude, you should probably take $5 million for it because I don't think the economy of Cobras is going to be a forever thing.
Yeah, I don't think it's about that. The guy probably doesn't need any money, and he probably has enough to make it through the rest of his
Yeah,
life.
I mean, you're right, but it's still like that's just like fucking dumb.
My problem was okay, it's one of 31 cars, one of even fewer in gold. It has original paint. Well, we can tell. Um, but how is there no
Yeah,
Cobras that are more original or nicer than that one? Like Shelby doesn't have any set aside? Like there isn't any
I don't
collectors?
think so. I think he was selling cars he didn't have in the early days, So yeah, I believe there weren't cars. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just kind of how they ran.
Hmm.
So I would believe that to a certain extent, but you would think that there's, I mean, with up until 20 like 15 years ago, keeping a car original wasn't very cool. Like the barn find thing only started like 15, 20 years ago to where it would actually like it would retain and hold value even though it looks like shit.
I just feel like there would have always been people that bought the car just to buy the car and not really used it.
Yeah, but there was a thought mentality in the market that when you have a car of that caliber, you make it perfect and then it just stays perfect forever. Like there was no we're gonna preserve this. Like that
Yeah,
thing's missing like at least a quarter of the paint on that car.
but it's
And
original.
I mean, but that's it's never gonna be original again.
Right.
So if you fuck it up, you fuck it up. So I could see that. I mean, it's a cool. I'm just not that. I mean, Cobras are cool. I like Cobras. I think the shape of them overall is really aesthetically pleasing. I think they could be tweaked and be better, but I didn't think $5 million. That's dude, just take your money and obviously, like I said, it's some rich guy. What are you gonna do?
One thing I've seemed to learn over the years is sometimes a rich guy isn't who you think they are, especially in Florida.
I think I think that's. I mean, there's a lot of money even in this town, as far as like people that have paying jobs that pay way more than anybody would think. You
Right.
know, people just they're really, especially around here. I'm sure Florida is very similar. Just don't have they don't walk around in Gucci. They're still wearing Carhartt.
Yeah, they don't have the gold chains there. How many gold chains do you see in a regular weekday?
Um, Not as much as Florida. I know. I think you have to get that when you get your license. I think that's what that is in Florida, right?
In Florida, I
You get
think
it
it's
with a
only
license. License,
no, no. I think you at 5 years the state sends you a gold chain. I'm pretty sure after five
and then
years of
every five
residency.
years it gets bigger.
Yeah, yeah,
And then it depends on how much chest hair you have too, though, right?
yeah, yeah.
If you have deep chest hair, you got to have a bigger one.
Yeah, it's got to I believe the term I've heard is it has to be nestled in your chest sweater like Conway Twitty. So,
Gross.
enough about gold chains.
Chains. Pure gold chainer is to me a gold chainer is a used car salesman.
So what's up with the 58 behind you today?
Not today, but this next week I'll be getting going on it for sure. Gonna get the box set up on it, get the radiator in it, get basically get the go down the priority list that me and the customers and us came up with, just to start knocking some of the problems out or figuring out solutions to problems in the first week or so. I think we're just going to take it a step at a time, and sometimes it's not creating a list that doesn't overwhelm the customer and me at the same time. Just baby steps into these things because it's a lot. There's a lot to consume. They don't have all of the parts for the vehicle, which is probably a good thing at this point, so we can be a little more picky choosy on stuff that's going to fit inside the cabin as far as like HVAC stuff. And I mean, even the hood hinges, the on this cab, I don't know, it's a premier cab, and I think they have really good specs as far as like what was on original and to their cab, but where the hood hinges mount, they have aftermarket hood hinges, so they're aluminum, and they're kind of like Ring Brother hinges. They're really fancy, and they set the hood back down in the same spot every time. I can't remember what brand they are, but now they're all pushed out a little too far to where they're actually touching the inside of the fender. So it's like just really general weird problems, because we got the hood fitting pretty decent, and then we're like, oh hey, look at that. This is while we had it at I was helping them at their shop. It's like, Jesus, what's the next problem going to be? It's like, now we can't even fit up the inner wheel well because, well, we got to deal with this problem first.
Right.
There's just a lot of really general weird things that you got to work through, that if you're not doing it right the first time, you're going to screw yourself down the road. And it's just dealing with it first instead of dealing with it in the end, and trying to figure out what the hell we're going to do then. I've met people that you just want to, well, just cut a recess and stuff. Like on that Mustang, the guy took over he wanted for the exhaust, instead of having the exhaust made the right way, he just wanted to cut the frame, cut the brand new Art Morrison chassis, and to clearance his headers that he had made. It's like, dude, that's not the way cars are built. Like,
Not ideally.
yeah, not ideal. Yeah, what are you gonna do? I did have this last night. I had the Ryan from Counts Customs, that a painter, the head painter guy. He like followed me on Instagram and started clicking like on all my shit, and I was like, oh, that's pretty neat.
That's
Somebody
cool.
that's you know been in the industry a long time, and it's obviously pretty recognizable to a lot of the people in the automotive industry. Pretty neat.
Yeah, that's cool. I didn't have anybody that big, but I got a comment today on my truck YouTube video from a guy I've been following for like
Hmm.
3 years. So I mean,
Oh,
like,
sure.
it's
That's cool.
cool. It's cool anytime like this stuff starts to
Yeah.
like you start to feel like you're in the arena. You know what I mean?
That's kind of like, I saw it at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, fuck, I shouldn't have looked at my phone. Then my head's spinning. Like, that's pretty cool. Like, in the end, it's just, people liking your social media page, and everybody's social media page is their, you know, bright, shiny version of them. Um, but, it is still really fucking cool. Somebody in the industry that's been there a long time, and they've, not that being on TV is my goal, but, being that recognizable in the automotive industry is pretty cool. I mean, it doesn't hurt.
For sure. I just want everybody on here to know that I am 98% bright and shiny. It's not just social media.
Oh, wow.
It's all the extra
I'm
vitamin
bright and
D I'm
shiny,
getting.
but I don't have to, as long as I don't have to clean up snow, that's usually Yeah, that's the shitty part about Wisconsin. Fucking snow.
Uh, every time I see an old car driving around, I just keep thinking of you, or like a C8. Yep.
Yeah. This morning I'm driving to the shop and I'm like, there's people still shoveling, people snow blowing, all you hear in the neighborhood's just snow blowers and stuff. When I came here, there's a loader outside across the street, making all kinds of noise, and they just got done plowing here. Why do we do this? They drive around the corner from my neighbors, and there's like fucking yard is just like the dirt's all blown up. Like we do this every year. Everybody's redoing their shit every year. Why do we live here?
I
Because I was
would
born here, I guess.
I wouldn't trade it for anything. The experience I got.
I think everybody should live in the snow for a while. Just appreciate not living in the snow.
So, this ties into work ethic and the industry and blue collar stuff and how we're lacking people, and I think it's living in temperate areas where you get real snow gives you a different work ethic that you don't even realize you have, because I worked
You put in a full shift before you go to work.
I worked 4 a.m. to 2 p.m. for 7 years there, the last 7 years before I moved. And so I had to be up at 3:30 to go to work. Well, if it snowed, I would have to clear enough snow for my truck and my wife's car to get out and clear my wife's car before I left to work. So you could count
Mm-hmm.
on half an hour to an hour of snow physical labor in the dark at 3 to 4 in the morning cleaning snow up
Yes,
before
sir.
working my 10-hour minimum shift. And then when I get home, I would have to finish cleaning the snow up and do any preparation, salting, or whatever for the following snowfall, as well as, long-term planning like cleaning the roof and things like that, and making sure that your vehicles have block heaters plugged in if need be or whatever. And I think that work that you're doing when you don't have a choice to do it and you don't even think about it, I think that goes a long way into you just understanding you can do a lot more than you want to do. Because we all want to. I watched like 4 episodes of some samurai show this morning on Netflix, okay, and it was pretty comfy on the couch. Okay, we all want to be comfy, but we also have to do a lot of work. And so like when I go out to work on my truck on a weekend or whatever, I can go out and in an hour without even thinking about it, get more work than most people do on their personal vehicles done in a month, because I like the
Oh
the
yeah. I mean,
the
speaking of that, yeah.
the
I
physical
can
output isn't even like doesn't even hit the register most of the time anymore. Anyway, you're just okay, I have to that I have to do, and so you just go out there and you just start going, and then the next thing you know the driveway's clear, or you know what I mean, you got your engine torn apart or whatever.
I think there's something to be said about not overdoing it though, because it was pushed in my brain ever since I've been a kid that like basically what's your excuse? Like you're a well-able-bodied human and just go out there and fucking do it, right? What's your excuse in comparison to anybody else? Just go out there and get it done. And then your back starts to hurt and you're like ignoring it. Your neck starts to hurt and you ignore it. And you just keep working and working and working. And then now you're in a position where I'm in and you're trying to figure out, you went up a t-shirt size and now everything hurts. That's literally my position the last couple of years. Like I went up a t-shirt size. I can't wear mediums anymore because my shoulders and my arms got bigger from working. But I mean, yeah, it's all cool, but if you can't move your arms at the end of the day, what the fuck's the sense of doing it? So now it's like trying to have my body relearn where everything's supposed to be, and you know, shoulders working and everything. It's getting better, but don't overdo it, kids. It sucks.
There's a fine line of doing work and there's a and overdoing your capability physically. Um,
Yeah, not valuing rest can fuck you up.
Plus, once you hit your 30s, you can't just go ham on something. I know they say that you never see a lion stretch before it chases a gazelle, but the lion's probably not 35 to 40 years old.
And when those guys stop moving, they just stop moving.
Yeah. They just feast and take a nap.
Yeah. Yeah. And they live to be like, I don't know. I mean, the goal is to live as long as possible, really, for humans. I mean, for the majority of people. So what does that look like? You have to make sure. That's why I bought a power hammer. Like it's not like my wife was seeing even like just hammering out a few welds with your shoulder, with a hammer and a dolly. You can fuck yourself up really fast trying to just work on a panel that I can, get done in 5 minutes on a power hammer. And yeah, I could got paid to do it by hand, but I can do it faster and better with a power hammer, and I can do it longer, literally longer, my lifetime longer, uh, because I'm not being so hard on my body.
And with efficiency comes you can raise your rates too. So
I mean, yeah, there is that.
it's
Sure.
it's not really a downfall. If you're charging somebody half an hour on power hammer time and it does 4 hours of hand powering time, you know what I mean? You can charge a more premium rate and then, in a way scale your time better.
Yeah, that and to me it was. I had a few conversations with people. It's like you just return the ROI. The return on investment. It's just not there. It's like I do understand that portion of it, but it's also you're never going to take on a job to that would you're never going to take on a job that uh, would require a power hammer if you don't have a power hammer.
Right.
It's that unless you're an insane person. That's that. It's I don't think. That being said, I took on this Mustang, that 66 Mustang. I didn't have too much for tools, to be honest. I was very naive when I took that job on. In my eyes, I think there are people who would probably say differently, but it's as soon as we started getting into it, it was one thing, and then they started asking for more metal work, and it was like I thought I was in over my head pretty quickly. But everybody I was talking to was like, "No, you're doing good. You're doing what I would do," and it's like, well, shit, this is, learning it by yourself is one thing. You're getting tips and tricks from people online and some buddies of mine and stuff like that. But if they're not in front of you showing you, it's pretty hard.
Right.
You got to get pretty creative.
Sometimes the
Yeah.
best lessons are learned the hardest way, though.
Yeah, I think we talked about that before. You're not gonna you learn lessons the hard way, pretty much. And that's a hard thing for like I think the youth to get over is a lot of it's gonna suck
I think
because a lot of it does suck.
I think it was hard for us too.
I think, to be honest, up until this isn't a rag on any of my past previous employers, but I've always felt like the shithead in the shop. I've always felt like the young kid that never really got any respect from anybody. Aside from the last place I worked, I was a manager there. I felt like that was a good situation that I didn't really want to be a manager of people anymore and manage a collision shop. So, but anyways, yeah, it's just always felt like the kid that's working in the corner that's like, yeah, he thinks he fucking knows. But to be honest, I was also that guy looking at another kid in the corner being like, or the older guys in the corner, like, look at these old heads. They don't know what the hell they're doing.
I remember working at a body shop one time and I was feeling, they made sure to keep the thumb on me. So I felt like I was the kid in the corner. And one day a guy
Hmm.
came up to me and he goes, hey, Ethan, if you don't know what you're doing, why are the guys that have been doing it for 40 years coming asking you for your advice? And I went,
Oh, yeah.
I went, yeah, Quentin, that is a good point.
Was that me for real?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yep.
Uh,
Your
we're a bunch of
sage
smart
advice.
asses.
You didn't realize you had such sage advice.
I
But
don't know. To me, I always felt kinship with the younger people. Not saying you were. I mean, you're not very much younger at all. I feel like we're pretty much the same age, but anybody that was like around my age or younger, it didn't seem like we were all in the same boat. Like everybody was like, it was like the old guys versus the new guys. And I don't know why it's always been like that in every shop I've ever been at, but it's always it's either the guy in the corner, the old dude in the corner saying, well, I've been doing it this way for 20 years. It never failed me yet. I was like, well, paint's changed like 3 times since then. We don't spray single stage anymore either.
Got 18
So
coats
shut.
of hand rubbed lacquer.
Remember that shit? Oh my god! It's like, well, yeah, that's gonna be the best. Are you
Hand
kidding me?
rubbed.
Hand rubbed. Come on, man. Oh my god.
It's a cool sounding
Still in the
brag,
gym.
though.
I mean,
Hand
no.
rubbed.
It just sounds like a portion of the internet that we don't want to click on.
Yeah, I'm not Google image searching hand rubbed lacquer. I can tell you that.
Have AI make just type that in and see what it would even come up with. That'd be hilarious. Probably
My
wouldn't be hilarious. Not sure.
my AI assistant would know exactly what it is. Lots of training.
Nice. Oh yeah.
I can't
So
wait to
now
get
what?
my AI guy in a robot body and have him, fetching me the 10 mil because my kid's too cool to do it.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I
I'm gonna be
promise
like,
you.
I'm gonna be like, 3D print me a 10 mil socket, and they'll be like, and they'll just hand me another one, and then I'll drop that down the engine bay, and they'll go, and another one, and they'll drop that down the engine bay.
Right? Just like a nonstop supply, a whole backpack of 10 mils.
Yeah,
Yep.
they just 3D print them right when you ask for them.
This of Ford saying we're running out of technicians and Tesla's selling, or there's somebody selling robots for 20 grand. I mean, it's cheaper than their health insurance in a year for some people. I mean, it's fucking crazy. I mean, there's no way it's not going to be somehow implemented in the automotive industry more.
It's gonna have to be.
There's just, it's going to happen. Like oil changes, that can be done by a robot. There's no reason a oil change can't rack up a car, lift it up in the air, let the fluid out of it, and put more fluid in it. I mean, granted, if it makes a mistake, it would be an expensive one, but I've also seen human technicians take a car out on the road without the drain plug in it
Oh yeah,
and go down the
everywhere.
fucking road.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it
everywhere.
happens all the time. So you can't tell me that robot's going to be better at it than some kid changing oil.
They'll get the right amount in, and they'll remember all the steps because it's programming. Because sometimes human programming is
Yeah.
not that good.
Especially when it's just like that kind of work, like the repetitiveness of oil changes and stuff. You're usually trying to find cheaper labor because it is a limited market, unless you're going to some dealership where it's like a $300 freaking oil change. But even then, they're still using the cheapest technician to do said job.
Right. That's where you take your hazing is in their lube tech section, and then if you can make it out of there, you level up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just like being a prepper in the body shop.
I never did that.
Hey, go.
Everywhere I ever worked was start to finish body shops, so I didn't have like a
Really?
prep. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, we the shop in Eau Claire I worked at I was the prepper. Basically, we got stuff down in body filler. I'd have to prime it, prep it, and prep all the panels and mask it for the painter. So it was,
And mask it tight.
I mean, it was, dude, tight. If it wasn't tight, that guy would fucking come by and rip it all off.
Yeah,
For real.
I believe
If he
it.
walked by and he walked by, there's like, we had our rounds. I mean, I would still, the guy's awesome. He taught me a lot, like how to tape something fast and efficient and the right way first time. Like if you see this transition, you're doing this. You see this transition, you're doing this. And the dude was never wrong. He always had it banged out. We would do like probably 3 or 4 cars a day, like 2 to 4 cars a day, depending on the size of the job and stuff like that. But when you're working together with a prepper and a painter, you can bang some stuff out.
For real.
But you gotta have all the implemented people doing all the jobs appropriately, and it was
Right.
always something from the two repairers, I guess. It was always a fight. The guy was like do a swipe of filler and leave it in 80, and then he would take combi putty combi putty the whole fucking thing, sand the combi out in 180, and then send it down to me. It's like I'm supposed to put a urethane primer on this. You just filled this with a 1K putty, dude. Like what the hell? Yeah,
Uh,
you would
yeah,
use you would use window primer for like the edges of like corrosion. Like he would just like clean up a little bit of corrosion that like around a repair. Like if there's something that was corroded that needed to be fixed, he would just like wheel it and then put it's like not window urethane, but like the window
oh,
primer go down before you put urethane down. And that there is absolutely like we talked to the high ups in the paint world, like they're like nothing sticks to this stuff. Like you guys should not be using it. Like nothing but urethane sticks to this.
yeah,
Oh, that's really
urethane sticks to it, and that's it.
yeah, yeah. So that was pretty cool.
Hmm.
What are you gonna do? There's always even you go on the auto body technician. There's like a bunch of different sites on Facebook and stuff that where people like swap ideas and stuff like that. And there's always tension between because there is an auto in the if you look in the repair for the collision repair, it's gonna be repair. There's gonna be it's gonna be cut up as far as what the repair is and then refinish time and all that stuff. So that's how kind of how they break it up in the shop. But it depends on shop to shop on how who takes care of what. Does the repair that's where we were talking last time about this feather block and prime and like the
Right.
primer isn't included. So like whose responsibility is it to prime it and then prep it for paint? Is it the refinisher or is it the repairer? Because if it's not in coded appropriately in the estimate, nobody's gonna like that's the fight. So it
Right.
just like creates a lot of tension, especially because the people up front just want the fucking car done. They don't care. Everybody knows how to do it. Just do it.
My issue I've had with when I'm around any type of production place is even where I work now, which isn't body work, but similar, um, is when you have people who only have to do a certain step of the job and they don't have to and say they don't have to do a repair or fix anything that has to do with their job or whatever. If they don't have to actually take care of a problem and it goes on to the next step, they're never going to improve. You know what I mean? Obviously, if you're getting paid flat rate and things like that, but you just run into a lot of issues like where the body guys are putting combi putty on it because they're trying to get their hours, they're trying to move this thing up, and that's the issue. Everybody's trying to move it up and out of their space, and then they say they're done with it. But if you're a start to finish shop, which may be slightly less efficient, you unfortunately have to deal with every step of it. So you're not going to screw yourself one step and going into the next. So that it's hard. There's like a give and take with it. Do you want to give up production for the possibility of quality?
I mean, and there's in the collision world, there's also like the majority of shops in big cities. I don't think they're hourly. I don't know about the chain ones, but the place I was at was hourly. So there was no real incentive for him to do aside from making the people up front happy because the vehicle got moved through faster. But they're also ultimately not going to be happy when you do a shitty repair and it comes back. So
Right.
like what are you doing? Like you're not helping anybody. You're just creating problems by doing things the wrong way. That was always a problem with that guy.
I can tell you what combi putty is going to look like on a
Anyways,
black paint job after a month in the sun.
there's a spot, there's a time and a place for combi putty. Definitely,
Right.
I can. There is a place, there, but it's not. It should never be touching body filler. That's for goddamn sure. You know,
Yeah. There's
I
a
don't know.
spot for a very small amount. Combi putty's for it's called spot putty.
Yeah,
Not,
I've never used it for anything but pinholes,
yeah.
and that's for stuff where you're cleaning it up and you're like, oh shit, there is a pinhole there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking about doing some airbrush stuff we were talking about. What
Yeah.
do you think what do you think the land of airbrush looks like these days? Like, remember I remember back in the day, and one of the things that I'm good at that seems like it's a not many people do it, is the old classy Mike LaValle True Fire. Remember the True Fire came out and that was like the
Yeah,
hottest thing out there? What
yeah, for
do you
sure.
what and then obviously there was like the 90s and like the mini truck times with all the scallops and the layering and the all that cool stuff. What do you think airbrushing of 2026 looks like?
I don't know. I know there's a lot of people still doing it. I think there's I don't think there's a large, super large market. When I think it was only about 10 years ago, and they had airbrush classes around here. They're trying to go around to body shops, just to try and start. I think it was just somebody coming around doing like a little tour and trying to, put classes together. Um, I think there you would find people that would probably want to do it, but I think there's going to be less people now than there would be 10 years ago. Just because there's a lack of technicians, unless there's people that would be not like non-automotive potentially, and that would be I don't know how you would get into that or what that even looks like if not necessarily not automotive, but I think there's a market for people that wouldn't be in the automotive field to do that, um, or learn that. I don't know. I think there's value in it. I think obviously before I'd be digging in real deep, I'd be making sure there's not like 50 other people out there doing the exact same thing. But
Well,
I'm sure there's some people doing some kind of tutorials or something like that.
yeah, for what I'm gonna do, I'm not really concerned um too much uh about I shouldn't say I'm not too concerned about demand, but I'm not too worried about competition or I guess I'm just looking at it as, one more thing in the portfolio, not necessarily like this is the thing that I want to do a
Oh
lot
no,
of.
sure. Okay,
Um
sure.
More so I just kind of want to start showcasing and passing along skills to people because we're kind of the stewards of the next generation of people doing stuff. So, just like you talked about showing how to properly repair a dent in metal, I'm kind of thinking of it in that same way. So even let's
For
say
sure.
I do some courses, and I would do like a beginner's one where you're just doing some drop shadowing and things like that. And then I could do specific ones. But because I'm going to tell you a secret, Harleys are always going to need flames and skulls. It's never going away, ever.
My paint rep, I thought custom motorcycle stuff was dying, and he's like, I could stay busy all day doing it. I'm like, you're kidding me. Like, where are these people? I don't even know where they are. I mean, Central Wisconsin, there's custom motorcycle paint uh, demand. I was like, I don't know where it is, but there's still people do it. Like, you're not wrong. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I used to airbrush Harleys.
Yeah.
Um,
Hell yeah.
just
I mean,
y-
they need to be fixed too. Some of the fixing them is harder, way
oh
harder.
yeah, yeah. I just sometimes you meet people in certain clubs that we won't mention, and they need some paint jobs on their stuff to let everybody know that they're a badass. And you say, "Hell yeah, let's do it!" And then next thing you know, you're airbrushing just like you don't know if you're over your head on the sheet metal work. Sometimes I agreed to airbrush jobs that I was like, I have no idea if I can even
Yeah.
do this, but
Yeah.
sometimes without like a little fear in you and like having to do something, not having to do something because of
I think
fear of consequence, but just like
I think
without
you got to be a little bit.
yeah, you gotta just kind of go for it sometimes, like, well, I have to do this, so let's get it done. And
Yeah.
yeah, obviously, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not photorealism, but um illustrative realism is a hard thing to do. I think that's what my tattoo artist used to say my style was illustrative realism. It's like things are real, but
That
it's
makes
like
sense though.
artistified.
Yeah.
Artistified.
Yeah. It's not. It's stylized realism to a certain extent.
Right, right. Yeah, I think that's good. Um but I just kind of want to I get so many people that comment on stuff and um you know kids that I'll hire at places and they all want to learn stuff. And it's like, how do you? I'm not saying I'm going to teach a welding course. I may offer some sort of beginner welding thing for free or something at some point. where it's just like a bunch of videos put together on how to start up with your 110 MIG welder or whatever, just to get people going. Because sometimes the hardest part is just, feeling like you have enough information to start. Because no matter what, you're always going to have to suffer through something the hard way.
I mean,
Well,
cars are hard. I mean, they're hard. They are. They're the systems on them. There's plumbing. There's electrical. There's metal. There's fiberglass. There's aluminum. There's the there's bonding and riveting. There's all kinds of. It's very very vast. Like to know it all is like there's very few builders actually do all of it all the way through. And
right.
if you're bragging about doing it all the way through, that's great. And you can do it. That's fucking cool, man. I can't do that. I can't do all of it. No way.
I wouldn't say that doing all of it yourself is always the smart way. It may be a safe way. Um, just because you don't.
But sometimes it's not. If you don't have knowledge of doing
Yeah,
things
yeah.
safely, you're not going to make something safe. And ultimately, number one, everything's got to be safe first. So if you're not, if the car isn't safe first, everything else is doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all.
I
It'll look
mean,
cool, and if it's safe, it's art. That's all it is.
yeah, I mean more so on the aspect of like if you can't find somebody to do if you know how to do the plumbing, but it would be more efficient to sub it out, but you can't find somebody you can trust to sub it out to, then it might be the safe choice to do it
Oh
yourself, but
shit,
not the fast choice. Or you know what I mean?
that's
Instead of
literally the position I'm in Central Wisconsin.
right. So I'm not saying like just do things yourself because it's better that way. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying sometimes if you can't find a resource, to do all your whole wiring harness for you and set it all up, that maybe if you have the knowledge to do it, maybe you just have to do that sometimes. But
Well, and there's legit shops out. Well, I shouldn't say legit shops, but there are shops out there that claim they know how to do things the right way and safe. And there's a car in here right now that I just had the customer stop this last week, and we're still trying to figure out what in the hell the first shop started to do. Like the route they were going down, don't even understand what kind of a car they were supposed to be ending up with. So it's just really, really frustrating.
some people are
But
just shooting from the
we're
hip.
out there and there's open business. What's that?
Some people are just shooting from the hip.
Well, some people have built a circle track car once in their life and they think they can build street cars. It don't work like that.
You just got to know where to put the
I
lead
mean,
weights.
you can. Yeah. But wait, where does the? Uh, so funny. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yep.
Oh, what was I gonna talk to you about? I had a whole thing. Oh, I found a aluminum Cobra body online. Not to go back to aluminum Cobra bodies, but there's aluminum Cobra body online in two pieces for $45,000. Crazy.
Like an actual Cobra or a Reman.
It's somebody made it. Yeah,
Okay.
and it was painted at one point. So it's a body worked, an aftermarket aluminum Cobra body, already been body worked, installed on a vehicle, cut off of said vehicle, hanging on a wall, $45,000.
Why? Oh, does that price sound
Why?
not sound
Exactly right.
outrageous to me? Doesn't that
It is
price?
outrageous.
It's not okay. I'm glad I'm tracking that because to me I'm like
But
45,000.
but if you go to the few places that actually offer Cobra bodies on like finished Cobra body cars or Cobra bodies in general, the price jump from a fiberglass to a Cobra or to aluminum body is like 60 grand or some fucking thing. It's like a lot.
Yeah, but also putting two halves of a car back together isn't the most fun.
It's just a rocker seam.
Oh, I didn't know how it was split.
Yeah, it's just a rocker seam. So
So
just
you
be putting the rocker back together and welding it together.
so you
But
picking
if
that
you
up
had
next week?
if a guy had But if a guy had a, a fiberglass car and wanted to put an aluminum body on it, that would be like the ticket. But I don't think 40 grand is pretty crazy. But anyway, like that guy had a bunch of Bailey stuff for sale, power hammer, pneumatic power hammer. I don't think they make that anymore. And then an English wheel too. Someplace in Wisconsin must be selling all this stuff.
Hmm. So are you picking up that body next week or?
Fuck, no way.
Just offer him 20.
No,
Just do the
no, I was actually looking.
low ball.
I was actually looking up. Sounds stupid, but LS conversions in Porsches, like the Porsche LS conversion kits, just to see what that all, like what you get and what you need to basically. I want to try and find a transaxle and an LS and just get something mocked. Like I just want to get the two together and get something figured out as far as like a mid-engine something.
You're
And
really
the
on the
G
mid-engine
was a
train.
G. Not getting off of it. There's no way. Like I keep thinking about, well, it'd be cool to just have a car to drive. And I was like, it's still in the back of my head. It's not leaving. Um, but I'm still not bone set. Like it's got to be this body and it's got to be shaped like this. It's just I really just need to get the platform set out to where I can do some measuring, so I can figure out if I'm shopping for a body that I can be like, yes, this is gonna fit. It's gonna fit under the back window, or it'll fit with modifications here and this and just I'd like to get this just the bones of it, but we'll see. You can get a transaxle for like you can get a used one for like a couple grand, a rebuilt one for 4 or 5 grand. So it's not really that bad.
Is that like a
And
CVT
then in some
setup
of
or?
the, I have no idea. It's got like a G50 and a G90. They're called. I don't know. Not really like that. I just started digging as far as like what. There's different kinds of transactions that work as well, but just trying to dig into just generally get some general information and knowledge about some of it, just so if I'm asking questions to some people, I don't sound like a total moron. Um, but in that kit for that Porsche, they had a cable operated shifting mechanism for like a 6-speed.
Cool.
It's pretty cool. Like, yeah, it was like you can mount it wherever, and it's just it's all cable operated. It's like, fucking, that is neat. Like, that's a really cool, like, to know that that's even an option. Well, like with any transaxle car, they got to have linkage going up there somehow. So that's got to be how the majority of the manual transmission mid-engine cars would work, right? It's cable driven or rods or something like that.
Even Honda Civics run a cable, like newer Honda Civics run a cable shifter, so you can mount them wherever.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like the old ones, like my
That is really
90s
cool.
one it's a push rod, it's 2 rods for the
Sure.
shifter, but they went to
Sure.
cable in like the early 2000s.
Interesting.
So
That's pretty cool.
it's not
I
secret
never
technology.
realized that was like that one. That, yeah, sure, right? That's pretty neat. There was a '01 Porsche with a LS in it for 40 grand. I thought he was like firm on the price. I was like, that's pretty fucking cool. That'd be pretty fun.
A lot of fun.
That'd be pretty fun.
A lot of fun.
Yeah. I don't know. Never getting off the mid-engine thing. It's gonna happen sooner or later, but it'd be cool to just. For me, I always want to go balls deep and trying to get something like thrown together, and then there's all kinds of problems that take longer than needed. I don't know. I just don't want to have something half thrown together. So I'm just trying to be like, if I can get pieces of it and like be a little more prepared as far as knowing what I want instead of getting a car and then reacting as far as like, oh no, this isn't going to fit now, or now I got to do this. Sometimes when you see an engine transmission or any sort of a drivetrain things sticking out of the body panels, I mean, unless it like really looks cool, it's not my gig. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
You don't want, like doing a mid-engine and you're like all of a sudden there's like just a big hole in the back and there's a part of an engine sticking out. Like you don't want to have that. So that's where I'm like, you try. I do want to get like the geometry of everything. To be honest, I think if the think the engine's face in the rear, like that. See, that's how naive I am to this, some of this stuff. I want a rear face where the engine's obviously facing backwards. And if you got the stick with me, the crank mounted Pro Charger off the back of that, where you could like see it from the back of the vehicle, that would be fucking cool. I think that'd be really cool.
All right, I don't want to break your heart here. If the
They
engine's
face forward, don't they?
if the engine's facing rearward, that's a rear engine car. Like an early Porsche where the engine points to the back, or a Volkswagen, that's a rear engine. If the engine is like a like a where the back of the transaxle is to the back of the car, the engine is in front of it
I guess I
generally.
never really. Yeah, see, I didn't even know that.
So yeah, it's not mid-engine if your engine's facing rearward, because that would be behind the axle then, and then that's a rear engine.
Tomato, tomato. It's in back of me, dude.
If it's behind you, yeah.
Well, I
That
think C8 face the rear. I think they would be considered rear because all the accessories are in the back. They put a Pro Charger on it. It's in the back of the motor. They cut the trunk out in the like behind the motor. There's a trunk. They cut the trunk out to access more room for accessory like
they
stuff on
must
the
do like
front
a
on the motor.
they must do like a V drive type weird setup on that if they've got the engine backwards, but it's still. I've never looked at the
I have no idea.
C8s.
I
Think
don't
like
know.
think
It's
Pantera.
ever when I've seen. Yeah, right. Yeah, I know. I mean, that'd be cool too, but
Well, I'm just saying that that's
I don't know.
mid-engine generally. Like the bell housing
Right.
is close to the axle, like the differential itself, and then the engine's in front of the differential, and then everything's behind it.
I'm definitely not opposed to either way, but I guess mid-engine is going to be easier to stuff in an older car that isn't meant for one
We were really
versus rear.
considering. My son decided to make the decision because we had my side by side chassis that I was looking at putting I was looking to maintain the front suspension. I was going to put my kid's Toyota truck cab on it, and then I was going to put a built Volkswagen transmission in it with a V8 sticking out the back, and then it would have been a wheelie machine, like a sand rail type setup, like a true rear
Yeah,
engine. Because all the weights in the back, you can just go whoa. But
mm-hmm.
he decided he'd rather be able to drive it regularly too, so we went with the whole front engine center mount type setup. So we bought different frame instead of going the rear engine route. But yeah, that's what we were looking at doing, is just getting you can get like a built Volkswagen tranny, and then they make kits to bolt just about anything to it, and then you can have a rear engine buggy. A lot of fun.
Yeah. Sounds awesome. Sounds like all the fun.
Can you imagine being
All the fun.
13 and having to decide between wheelies and it's hard decisions,
At
kid.
13, I wanted a fucking go-kart and I had a lawn tractor. No joke.
Well,
Rode around the yard and fucking my highly modified lawn tractor that I got from the neighbor for $30.
going in reverse and then jamming it in forwards. I went,
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah.
oh yeah, we were all there.
You see, there's like, see the videos. There's like, they're like lawn tractors. People like make them go off road and they do like these overlanding trips and shit. It's pretty nuts. It's a whole thing. It honestly like made me want to get a freaking lawn tractor and do it again, but I don't have anywhere to go with it. But they like, they gear them up so they actually go. There's like people with trailers and like tents and they're going camping and they're like fucking going on trips and shit. It looks like so much fun. Oh my god,
Wow,
it looks like a lot of fun.
what will they think of next? Why don't you tell everybody where to find you online?
Oh, you can find me on the YouTube, on the Instagram, and on the Facebook. Hungry Hollow Customs. Where can they find you?
You can find me everywhere. Terror Shark TV. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, email. I'll be there. Available in audio form everywhere you listen to podcasts. If you want to see it in video, you can go to our Patreon, which is patreon.com/F_CKINGCARS. And just for $5 a month, you can get all of our podcasts in video format, extra bloopers at the end, so you can get a little bit more feel. You can see some of the things we're working on, even some of our more inappropriate moments, and help support the channel. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification so you get notified every week when we post a new episode.
Work, they just crack.
Oh, putting a door skin on it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're junk. They don't work. You just order a whole new door. Fuck it.
It's military grade, though.
Well, military has all sorts of standards up and down.
Everybody I know that was in the
We
military
can
says
all
that
agree on that, right? Oh, shit.
military grade doesn't mean much.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, you're making me want a beer already. I need caffeine and water. Luckily, they're together.
Caffeine Joe, coffee, water Joe.
Snowpocalypse, dude.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Gross.
I did have to
So do you
wear
want
pants
to?
yesterday.
Oh, you poor bastard. Do we want to do like an intro thing?